trust that you won't give away spoilers for your friends, that we died. I didn't really die. I was acting. That's partly what happened with the accordion.
Great.
Well, this is for all of you. What was the hardest part about making the movie? And how long, like where did you shoot it and how long was the shoot?
The hardest bit was to get Sophie to kiss Nico. They really didn't want to do that. They're good friends, they're really good friends, they really didn't want to do it. We shot in Berlin, we all shot in Berlin at the start of this year, from February through to May. About 3 months we were shooting. And,
Sophie, what was the hardest part to you?
Okay, well, it's kind of true what he said. It was the hardest scene, but it's because me and Nico were really good friends, and he was like my brother. I mean, after a week, I was annoying him, and he was annoying me. And then after 4 months, I was really annoying him, and he was really annoying me. And we were just really like brothers and sisters, and we would do everything together. And that day was just really awkward. And I mean, we would always talk together, and we would do everything. And I think that day we like barely exchanged one word. We were sitting there and, you know, doing the scene and just saying, I can't believe we're doing this. Like, I could feel in his eyes, I would say, I'm sorry. And also, what you guys don't see is that in the scene, I had to kiss him twice. And then in the movie, you see it once. And I came to see Brian when I saw the movie. I was like, couldn't you tell me that before I had to do the scene? And you know, sometimes I was sitting there and, you know, doing the scene. And Brian, like, correction, he would go into it and say, can you kiss him longer? Correction. And so, yeah, it was the hardest scene, but,
Sophie, how old are you?
13.
Oh, very young. Okay. And Geoffrey, the hardest for you?
This was a very special project for me because I chose the role. What I've been doing, I've gone back to doing a lot of theatre in and around film, which I hadn't done for about 10 or 15 years. And I've been playing very eccentric roles on stage, like Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest, because I could. And earlier this year I love musical theatre, and I got a chance to play Pseudolus in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, which is a very burlesque, pratfall-y kind of role. And then this screenplay came my way, and I read the screenplay before I read the book. And there was just something about the ordinariness and the tempo, the quiet tempo of the character that was a sort of personal acting challenge. So I went into it really wide open for the experience. And to be honest, apart from, I think the hardest thing was the book burning scene. We were up in Görlitz, which is a town up on the Polish border, one of the few locations that we went to. And it was freezing, and we were shooting at night. So there were those kinds of hardships, but you ultimately didn't notice them that much.
Markus, what about you as the author, seeing your words put on the big screen? Difficult? Yes? No?
Oh, that's okay. It's, and I mean that because it's, and when I say it's okay, I don't mean the result is okay. I think it's really beautiful. And but it's okay in that I think readers often feel more emotional about your own book than you do, and because when they experience things in a book, when they're reading it, they experience it for the first time. And so when I write something like the end of that book, I've already gone through it in my head at least 150 times. And so I think it's more of a shock to the readers and than it is to me. And so I sort of sit there, and it takes a while for me to take it all in. And you know, and I think what they've done with the film, I think there's a book and there's a film, and they're two different things. But I think the film's really beautiful.
I'm so sorry that Emily Mortimer is not here to hear your loving laughter. Because she said that was what was so difficult for her, to see herself transformed, that she really went a little bit beyond what she normally looks like. But I think it was with good faith, right?
For Emily?
Yes.
Yeah, no, she was thrilled when the role was offered to her, because again it was outside of her normal conventional casting. And she had said when she joined us for a couple of days in New York that she needed to get back to her young family. But she was saying to the press, you know, I've been eating a lot of Christmas pudding. And then Brian called me up and we had a chat, and I agreed to do the role, and I just kept on eating.
That's very, very nice. Right there?
Yes, I have a question regarding the adaptation. Can you comment on that and the process from putting it from the book to the screen, and how did you keep those key moments and the emotional moments and translate them to the screen from the book?
It's quite tricky one to answer that, because the first draft of the script was done, about 7 years ago. And that was much, much before I ever got involved. It was two producers called Karen Rosenfeld and Ken Blackcastle. They'd seen this article in the New York Times, I think, about Markus's book and wanted to read it. And so they got hold of the manuscript and read it and thought, wow, this would make such a terrific film. But as with most films, there's a time that's right to do them, and there's a time that's not right. And it took them a little while, and for all sorts of reasons, for it to come to the point where about 18 months ago they thought, or maybe 2 years, somewhere around that time, they thought, right, now's the time to do it. And that was the time they sort of asked me to direct it. So it's difficult to say quite how that process was happening, but I know that it didn't change a great deal from the first draft that, I think, first or second draft that Michael Petroni, the screenwriter, did, from reading Markus's book.